there, welcome to Fact Friday. This week I want to talk about mentalism. In the world of psychology, there are lots of philosophies and practices when it comes to dealing with behavioral health, if you will. Mentalism is like the converse of behaviorism, both philosophically and practically. And what I have found for myself is that my understanding of behavioral is supported by understanding mentalistic. It's sort of like a negative teaching example. So mentalism explains behavior through assumptions about the existence of an inner and mental dimension as the cause of behavior. And mentalistic explanations rely on three terms that are important for you to know: hypothetical constructs, explanatory fictions, and circular reasoning, which is what I'm going to talk about today. But first, I just want to say that traditional psychology is mentalism, right? So Freud and psychotherapy, talk therapy, marriage and family therapy, social work, these folks typically rely on more mentalistic explanations and practices in their work. Okay, so back to those three terms that define mentalism. The first is hypothetical construct. This is a presumed but unobserved process. So I looked up construct in the dictionary just to get a better sense of that word in isolation. And what it is an idea or theory containing various conceptual elements, typically considered to be subjective and not based on empirical evidence. That was helpful because that's definitely in contrast to what we require as behaviorists. But more simply put, things like free will, determination, self-esteem, ego strength, readiness, intelligence, these are things that could be used as causes of behavior, but relying on hypothetical constructs to explain the behavior. And guess what? These constructs, they can't be observed, and therefore they can't be manipulated or assessed, or more importantly, used to help change behavior. So passing the exam because of strong will and determination, well, that's awesome. But how do you replicate that? How do you take that recipe, strong will and determination, and use it as an intervention for others to pass the exam? As you can see, it's a construct that is used to explain behavior that is not based on anything empirical and is surely quite subjective. The next term that's important is explanatory fiction. This is a mythical explanation for behavior. It's another name for observed behavior, but does not add anything to our understanding of what actually causes or maintains behavior. It's like attributing behavior to knowing or wanting or figuring out. Guess what? Again, unobserved processes. So saying something like, well, he's doing much better today because he knows you're watching him, not exactly an observable phenomenon. Again, subjective and not based on anything that we can measure, empirical or empiricism. And finally, circular reasoning, the key ingredient in mentalistic thinking. It's kind of the what came first, the chicken or the egg type of thinking. Now, as behaviorists, we look at things very linearly, right? So think A, B, C. A came first, B came second, C came third, and so on. But in circular reasoning, you're not able to do that because the cause and effect are both inferred from the same information. So saying that he paced because he felt uneasy, right? Pacing and feeling uneasy are both inferred from that same anxious condition or anxiety condition. Anyway, I do hope that helps. And like I said at first, understanding mentalism definitely will help you understand behaviorism. Think of it as the contrast. So if the defining features of mentalism are something you're being tested on, then you know it's not behavioral because it's mentalistic. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.